everything's in the heat of the moment, I'm thinking about what I need to do in my car and what we need to do to be successful. There's two things that I'm very passionate about. That's my family and my race car. If you mess with either one of them, I'm subject to do something about it.
You keep my daddy out of this loud man.
Your dad?
Why the hell did you do that, Plan?
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Orange Bumper Podcast.
Back again, back in the saddle, like Luke Combs says.
Yeah, we're here.
Man, it's been 2 weeks, I guess.
Been a couple weeks, several weeks, yeah.
2 more trophies to the Myers shop.
Yep. Slate got one, I got one.
Yeah. Had a little bit of the transponder controversy, but I think
that's a good way to put it.
there were a couple people that asked you about it, plenty of answers out there, but summed up, you're okay with it. You just needed to know going forward what it's
all I've
be.
ever asked as a racer is tell me what the rules are and stick by them. The same for everybody all the time. Consistency.
Right.
And the way that I interpreted the way they were, I thought we've always done it was different than the way that they're, how they're going to do it. That's the best way I want to put it. And I think that I feel like I was right in what I was thinking, but every fan, every other team, everybody I talked to, all were confused.
Right.
So that kind of leads me to believe that I was probably right. The way I interpret the rule is when it says they go back to the last green flag lap, it means the last green flag lap, not coming to the green.
Sure.
I didn't even think anything about beating Slate to the line because we never had to in the past.
If it said last scored lap, that's one thing.
And it was
last
like
green flag lap.
And their explanation to me was that Slate's transponder pinged first when we took the green. To me, if you're going to have that rule, you also have to say that P2 can't beat P1 to the line. You have to protect the leader. Now, it is what it is. And I told him, I said, if it hadn't been Slate, I'd have probably had to come apart. But the fact that it was Slate, but at the end of the day, there's nothing I can do about it. So there's no need to be mad. I just said, look, you've got to keep doing it this way from here on out. Right. And that's what they said they were going to do. So,
well, this past weekend, you got modified win number
105.
Career win number 106. Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's a big night for Citrusafe. Slate finished second in the second race. We were excited to have Skip Flores out there.
Yeah.
He had running the Citrusafe Pro banner for us.
I was able to do the pitch because several people said, what is Citrusafe Pro? So I was able to do the sales pitch on
well,
that.
What is Citrusafe Pro?
I'm glad you both brought that up. Welcome, Luke and Jack Baldwin. So you've all come to recognize the name Citrusafe. It's the #1 grill cleaner in the country. Well, you ought not be surprised that we've come out with the Swiss Army knife of commercial degreasers and cleaners. Beside me, you'll see Citrusafe Pro. Wonderful alternative for everything commercial, but specifically motorsports. Everything from steel, from aluminum, fiberglass, concrete, you name it, this is going to take care of it. So once you're done at the track, or even if you're getting ready to go to the track, Citrusafe Pro is going to be the absolute go-to Swiss Army knife cleaner and degreaser. Clearly, they have been around racing and know when to plug a sponsor. Thank you very much. Citrusafe Pro is a commercial and industrial cleaner, degreaser, and oil emulsifier. We use it for, I say we, the way we market it is for anything you need to get cleaned, degreased, and or emulsified. So think about, powder coating, race car chassis, Cup, Xfinity, truck race,
dirt cars
that come back, during tear down, you get it clean. And we're, not slowly, but surely getting in to all those shops. Had a lot of momentum. Skip's helped us tremendously. He's like Burt, he knows everybody. And so it was really cool to see him there. He
cleaned the track at the stadium.
Yeah. After the demo derby, went over there, told him, we've got some stuff to help get all that oil and stuff out of too and put it down. And we've got some pictures that are pretty cool, but good weekend for Citrusafe. Tell me about somebody was talking about Crown Vic.
So coming up this Saturday, I'll be in the Crown Vic race. at Bowman Gray Saturday.
Because why not?
So why not?
Why not?
Hell
Why
yeah.
not? I'll be in the Crown Vic race. So Tony Black talked to Tony, and Citrusafe's actually sponsoring their series.
Okay. Is it true
for this race.
Cletus found out you were racing and said, "No, I'm not competing"?
Yeah, I think it was
I thought that's
something
what it
like
was.
that.
I
He
wasn't
backed
sure.
out. I think
mean,
he was probably entered.
we've been trying forever to get him there.
Then when he
but-
heard I was coming, he was like, "No, I'm
yeah,
not doing
I
that."
get it, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
no.
I mean,
No, I talked to Tony ever since the Crown Vics came out, and we've talked about them on this show about how cool they are. And so after they came to the stadium that first race, I watched them and how they were awesome. Well, then the next time they came, I was in. That's when NASCAR came in, and the top 5 were in Tech all night. And Tony walked by and he was like, said something. I think I won that night. He said, "Man, good run." I said, "Well, I'm not happy." He said, "Well," I said, "I didn't get to watch the Crown Vic race." So I've been kind of talking to Tony a little bit, and we worked it out for me to
That's
the
cool.
Crown Vic race this weekend. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
that'll
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
man. It's gonna
you
be
got
fun.
an opportunity to win 2 races.
I will tell
this
him now
weekend.
how you work on those cars, but go ahead and free it up.
Yeah,
Start right now.
Well, these guys, I don't know if y'all.
Throw a rubber in that right
Just
here
do
for me.
something to
Did
free
you
it
get
up
to do
right
one
now.
of Cletus's races?
No.
I thought
No.
for some reason I was thinking you did one of his. Those guys are for real, man.
Yeah.
Like we joke about, you go in that like
Danny Stockman in the Stafford race was one of the
that was
funniest.
hilarious. The whole pit stop thing. Yeah, he was. That was classic.
Little downforce Danny.
Downforce
That
Danny.
was classic.
Put them on the dash.
That's
Put 'em
it.
on the dash.
Put them on the dash.
We kind of touched on you guys being here, but again, we've got Luke and Jack Baldwin, generational race family, just like the Myers. Both of you ran up at North Wilkesboro this past weekend. How's North Wilkesboro for both of you?
I went there with a newer team, new this year, kind of slowly figuring everything out with all of them being new to racing. And so North Wilkesboro is kind of a big jump you go and try to take with a new team. And we ended up 15th, only my third pro late, I'm going to say second pro late mile race. So that out of 30 cars, it's not a bad day. We moved forward 8 spots, racing with Chase Elliott a little bit. So, yeah, I had fun. Different than racing there in a modified. First time dealing with dirty air. It was cool to try to get a workaround and figure out what worked and didn't work with that. So, yeah, it was a good time. Always great to get out to a track like North Wilkesboro because it's just a different,
100%.
it's a different atmosphere. Right when you roll on the racetrack, you're like, this is so badass.
They've done such a good job of, and I hope you agree, making the racing new age, but the venue old school.
For sure.
And it's cool to see the stands packed up there. I remember Tommy and I went that first weekend before the repave and all that, the first big weekend when they reopened, and we were walking around the pits, and I'm just like, oh my God, like, are they gonna, is this really going to work out? And man, they did a bang up job.
Yeah,
on
they
it.
did.
Luke, you ran. What was your weekend like up there?
It was all right. Ran the pro race with Bryson Lopez Racing and led a lot of it. I think first like 3/4 of it ish. Then lost lead on a restart. Picked the bottom. Probably wasn't a good choice. Missed a shift a little bit, which literally the day before, Jack asked me, he's like, "Hey, have you ever missed a shift?" I'm like, "No, dude. Like, no, are you serious? Everything I drive straight cut, dude. No, I've never missed a shift."
I don't even
race. Like,
remember why I asked him that.
yeah, I was no, dude. Then the next
cursed
day,
you.
I lose the lead because I missed a shift like an idiot. But ended up 4th. Just got in dirty air, got tight. Really fun working with those guys. Like the Bryson Lopez group, or like Dustin and Brandon and everybody at BLRs. They're incredible to work with. So I had a lot of fun there, and then struggled a lot with the truck stuff. Just kind of missed it one of those weekends and fought hard all weekend, but never, like, we were missing something pretty big and never really found it. So I kind of tried to mind my own business there and finish that one out. But overall, decent weekend. I feel like we could have won the pro race, but obviously things didn't go the way I needed them to go. But it is what it is. Always, like he said, love going to North Wilkesboro. It's one of my favorite racetracks, and it's ever changing since they repaved it. Like it's crazy how much grip it's lost. It's crazy how much it's moved around. Like nothing that we did last fall, even last fall with the modified race, nothing we did there translated to what it was this past weekend. Like we were half a second slower in qualifying than we were in the fall. It's It's pretty crazy. It's
lot.
cool.
That doesn't sound like a lot to somebody
lot.
that's listening, but in racing, that's
a
a
lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I saw where Newman got interviewed, and they asked him about, the truck race, and he said, it was fun, but it kind of wasn't, but it doesn't beat running a modified here. So after running all, I guess 3 different series there, what's your favorite car to run there?
I think they all kind of have their perks. Like, it's hard to tell a difference. Like last year with the truck race, when we ran pretty good, and you moved around a lot. It's really cool just how much longer the truck races are and how the Goodyear rubber gets laid down, how much you kind of move around throughout the race. Like stage 1, stage 2, stage 3 are their own separate races because of how much different you drive the place. So it was really cool last year when we were competitive to kind of move around throughout the race and do things that you wouldn't ever even try with the modified stuff, like running the top through 3 and 4, like the top, and then getting up, running the wall late in the race. It was really cool. And then the modified stuff, it's just everywhere you go with the modified. It's badass. Like, it's fun. And then the pro stuff, it's its own thing, racing, getting in dirty air and leaning on people and, trying to figure out how to, like, you don't do that much in short track racing. You don't navigate air, and the pro stuff you do at Wilkesboro. So they all have their perks. I don't really think I have a favorite. Jack probably does.
I'd say I like just the aspect of in the modified. At Wilkesboro, it's kind of a lineless racetrack. You run wherever your car wants to go, wherever it's good. So being able to move around freely and not have another car in a different lane affect you negatively while you're doing that or anything like that, I found a bit more adrenaline rushing than getting. Maybe I enter a corner following somebody in a late model, and I'm like, oh crap, now I'm in dirty air. It's kind of a bummer. But it was very interesting to get out there and deal with the dirty air and kind of try.
It's fun. It's different.
You're trying to feel, like he said earlier, you go from car to car, and you have the standard racing disciplines that go from car to car to car that don't change. It's just the concept of driving a race car. But then you come and drive a new car, and there's just a whole nother ball game you got to figure out, especially in North Wilkesboro, and that was the dirty air. And that's fun, trying to learn something new.
Yeah.
So
Have both y'all run at New Hampshire in a modified?
I have not. I was going to this year, but I'm running Anderson, the lead model now.
Okay.
I ran, that was my first Wheel and Tour race. That was pretty eye-opening.
It's different.
Yeah. No, it was.
But I had, the first time I went, I ran third in Eddie's car.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It was so much
awesome.
fun.
Isn't that one of the few, or maybe the only drafting track in a modified?
I would say it's the only one that, plays a huge role.
Yeah.
Like I remember I went out for practice, and I made maybe one lap at half speed, just trying to find my ass out there. Right. And then Sammy Ramo gets behind me in practice and pushes me down the front stretch, like as you would at Loudon. And I'm going way faster in the one than I was the lap before, and I didn't know what was about to happen. I found myself in the marbles. I almost crashed this thing on lap 2 of practice. It was wild, but no, we figured it out. I was running 5th and got caught up in some stuff, but I'm going back.
3rd at one point.
Yeah, we were up to 3rd. We were running really good. A lot of restarts were fun, but we're going back this year. I'm kind of interested to see how it goes on the new tire, if anything changes.
That's right. They're running the American Racers, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a good race. I was talking to Danny Bone on the way in. He's running that race up there, and
Is he?
yeah, that'll be fun to watch. All of you have, long family lineages, but racing with your brothers has got to be something that's just completely, totally like different. I don't know that I've ever seen you and Jason get into it.
It was one of his first years in the modified.
And I get into it, I don't mean on the track. I mean like.
No, we've had, there was one time, I think it was Jason's, maybe his first year in the modified, and me and him and Daddy were all racing together at Caraway. And I pinned him in behind a lap car, and he didn't like it, and he made it kind of 3 wide and took us both out. And he blames me and I blame him. But if you're stupid enough to get yourself pinned in behind a lap car, you got to take your medicine. Right?
I mean,
right?
That's fair. Yeah.
not wrong.
I saw the lap car coming up. Yeah. I got up to the outside of him thinking, I got you now. And no, I didn't. But
Jason said, hold my beer.
Yeah, but that's the only time I can think of that me and Jason have even had the first thing go halfway sideways. And that's that's saying a lot racing at Bowman Grove with each other.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, basically our entire lives. But the thing about racing with brothers, and I'm sure they can agree to this too, is if Jason was playing in a golf tournament and I'm watching him on TV, I'm his biggest fan. If I'm on a golf tournament, I'm sure he's my biggest fan. If we're playing against each other, my goal is to beat Jason.
Katie bar the door.
And yeah, so it's the same way with racing. I mean, I'm sure y'all, you know, same thing. You want to win, but if you can't win, I want my brother to win.
Y'all ever had any good knockdown? Y'all ever had any good knockdown dragouts?
Oh yeah, yeah.
We've had the knockdown dragouts outside of racing, the physical ones, but never.
Was it because of racing or because you were brothers?
We've never. I don't think it's ever gotten physical.
What's the age difference between y'all?
3 years.
So it probably wasn't
same as me and
ever.
Jason,
Probably wasn't
3
ever a
years.
girl then.
No, I don't think that's a problem. No, we got into it at Hickory one time because we went out. It was a 602 race, and there's like probably 3 competitive cars, like cars that you have to worry about beating legitimately. And he goes out and qualifies right before me, and then I go out. I take the green. I come around to take the white through 3 and 4, and he's still on the racetrack, getting off the racetrack, taking a sweet
on the
time.
apron.
He was on the racetrack. Don't let him fool you. He's still, but and it didn't. Like I still qualified second to him. It wasn't a big deal, but I got out, and to me it was the end of the world. So I was like, dude, what the hell? He's like, you can't just be happy for me, man. Like I'm on the pole. I'm like, no, dude. Like you guys, I should have been on the pole. And it got pretty big pretty quick. And then,
Did you
I
do it
ended
on
up
purpose?
half tracking him that race. by the way.
then there's another.
We've had a couple. We've had New Smyrna. We had an incident in the crate mods where I was
He
running for the
overreacted on
championship.
this one.
I didn't overreact.
Yeah, he
I just had the wrong guy.
He overreacted.
I was running for a championship. I was running second, and I'm getting pushed into the car leading, and he spins out, and they send me to the rear for it. But I'm getting pushed by like 8 cars. And my spotter, Austin Beers was my spotter. He told me Luke was the only one pushing me.
There were like 6 of us lined up.
So
off the floor.
I got out and got mad at him for that. That was a pretty big one. And then one time where I probably should have been really mad was Riverhead. I slipped 300 2 years ago. We were running 3rd and 4th, and we both had just got new tires 10 laps ago. And the guys in 1st and 2nd, 70, 80 lap old tires. So we're in prime position to go get us a kind of a crown jewel win.
Yeah.
One of us at least.
Yeah.
So we restart. I roll around the top because it changes throughout the race, but at that time the top groove on the restart was the better groove. They had just gotten rid of the line rule, so you can make the track into 1/10 of a mile now, and instead of I don't even know
A fifth.
Yeah, a fifth of a mile. So Luke was working that all race, and as soon as I got down in front of him, Luke just dives it onto the apron, but he forgets to turn.
I was in there.
He drives back up on the main track and cleans us both out.
I was in there, man. I don't know.
So you're saying you had the spot?
No, I that's just what I said. I can't take myself seriously. I wrecked the shit out of it. I can't lie.
We were parked like this, tangled to each other, waiting for the tow trucks to come unhook us. I'm screaming at him. He's sitting at the wheel like this.
Won't even look at you.
Nope, won't even look at me. I'm screaming over the radio. And the problem is, we brought 2 cars as a family team. So my dad's just on both radios. So he's both of our crew chiefs. And we only have one pit crew that race?
Yeah.
We only had one pit crew. So we had to pit at different times. And somehow we ended up in the same place on that same strategy. So my dad couldn't deal with us screaming, but I ended up driving back up to 5th after that and taking myself back out of the race I spun out Craig Lutz. So that kind of was like, all right, I had another chance and I gave it away again. So I just went and drank a couple beers.
Yeah.
I would imagine as the years progress, the stories will get better and better and better because this is not going to be the last time.
I hope we don't have any more
Right?
like that. We almost did it south the King of the Modifieds this year.
Yeah.
He almost put me in the inside fence going.
He was nowhere. This
time I was in there.
I just passed him, and he threw it in from 2 car lengths back, and I was like, no.
Roll the tape, dude.
Roll the tape, he says.
Roll the tape.
Bringing receipts.
We're primed to race each other a good 30, 35 times next year, I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be up front in all those racing each other.
Well, who's the Who's the alpha of the two of you?
Me.
In what terms?
Just in general.
Just me.
It's me.
Just
If you want to like narrow it down to just the racing world, then sure he can take that nod. But anything out general life, it's me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even close either.
Luke just stays quiet.
I love it.
I've been in the shop and
I can relate.
listening to two brothers go at it is like just jaw jacking in the shop is just some of the
we've had
classic.
a few of those moments where one of us just has to get up and leave.
Yeah.
He and Jason is so quick. Well, both of them are really like quick. Like you can't get over on either one of them. And listening to two of them go at it, and when I say go at it, I just mean like just trying to get the best of the other one, just ribbing them is just classic entertainment. I mean, it needs its own Netflix special. It really does. They kind of touched on it in Madhouse.
Yeah, you saw some of it.
But Madhouse was a whole.
I wish they'd do another TV show like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we're missing right now.
Yeah,
There's a lot of people that say that. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think it would be wildly
Well, that's
successful.
what people say. When's Madhouse coming back? I said it didn't go anywhere. It's just not on TV anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like
It's
Right.
nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not that expensive to make happen anymore to make like a YouTube series
Right.
like that. I can't do
No.
that.
So some film student out there somewhere is
I
gonna.
think politics.
Yeah.
Politics is the reason.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of people.
I think we're getting away from that now, though.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah, a
it's
little
coming
bit.
back.
Yeah.
I think the regular world's coming back a little bit.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. One of the things I want to get y'all's opinion on is Burt and I have been talking to everybody that comes through about trying to do this road course race with a modified. And, you know, Burt's
I got a formula.
he's choreographed the whole thing. You know, we got Dominion's the place to do it. You know, initially we had talked about doing like a weekend with the Cars Tour where like the modifieds run the road course, that race gets done, Cars runs the oval. The next day, you flip-flop them, you impound at night, but you flip-flop them. One ticket gets you, per day, gets you to see both races. Is that something y'all would, since y'all run both series?
Hell yeah.
I mean, that's 4 races.
Right?
For y'all.
That sounds that'd be a lot of fun. I don't know if you'd be able to make the pro late model stuff go on the road course.
I was focused just on whenever we had Kip and Chris in here, and that was kind of thrown around that do something together, but especially the first time, I don't know that you could.
Well, we could be the guinea pigs.
But
Smart
the
to be the
modified
guinea
race,
pigs.
man, I got a formula. I got it all worked out, man.
Yeah.
Because I told Chris when we I tested at Dominion in like 2020. I had Steve Britt had asked me to come speak at their banquet. I think it was 2019. And they showed me the whole facility. Well, you've seen Dominion. I mean, it's top notch. And I said, man, you got to have a modified race here. So I came back in 2020 and I tested there. And well, I said, hey, can I make a few laps on the road course? Yeah, go ahead. And I said, man, we got to do something. So I've been kind of working it slowly. And so in my mind, I told Chris, I said, what you have to think about is what excuse are guys going to have for not wanting to do it? Well, the first thing is the transmission. Well, I've got a 2-speed. Okay, 2 speeds only. Well, I don't want to build a car just for the road course. Okay, your maximum left side is 56. Your minimum left side is 54. And maybe you just switch wheels left to right is the only change you make. You have a gear rule where you got to run the same gear, oval and the road course. Come in that morning, you got your practice for your road course race is your qualifying. Your finish from the road course race is your starting order for the oval. You could run, all right, the other thing is what about stagger? Because we run a 26-inch 20 and a 27-inch 30.
Right.
All right, well, you get 4 tires. You still get 2 20s and you still get 2 30s, but you put your 20s on the front, your 30s on the back. For the road course race, you get those 4 tires. For the oval race, you only get three new tires. You keep the 20 on the left front. You put a 30, 30, and a 20. So I've got it all planned out. And when I did it, the only thing that was really something that was going to have to be addressed is that long straightaway that they do the drag strip stuff on. You get about a little over halfway and you just watch the tack at 7,800. Mm-hmm. So I said something to Steve. I said, can we put a chicane right there? He was like, yeah, that's no problem. So it would be really cool and the thing about it is too, is you've seen you've probably never made laps on the road course, but you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's wide open.
Oh, yeah.
So if you run off, you're not going to hit the wall and knock
Yeah.
the front end off of it. So you run the same car both races with an impound.
So you're doing an oval race the same day.
Same day.
as
So
road
you come
course
in
race.
that morning, you do a 25 lap, you do 2 little practice sessions or 1 big practice session, and you run a 25 lap road course race. You bring the same car into the infield and run a 75 lap oval race. The way Bowman Gray does their twin 25s, they do an average finish for points. So if you win the oval or if you win a road course race, you're still going to get victory lane. You're still going to get a trophy. And then you win the oval, you're going to get a trophy and victory lane. But as far as points and money is concerned, whoever has the best average finish gets first place.
That way nobody goes overboard for one race.
Right. Because that way if you're running for points, especially, you have to focus on both races. Because my biggest thing is you hear people, well, such and such, we've all heard about the car that Ted Christopher built to go to the road course, the different spindles and the different offsets and the rear end, and they did all this crazy stuff. But if you got to run the same car at the oval that night, there's only so much you can do to it. Yeah. So I don't know, it'd be fun. Steve Red told me he could make it happen if
I'm in.
Everybody we've had on here said they ran. So I don't know why we hadn't made it happen yet.
I'm sure we can get the Sadler Stanley guys out there on board. We'll get the Stokes 7 out and rolling for that.
That's in their backyard right there in Virginia.
And we've talked about too, I think it would be a big draw. I think you'd have a lot of northern guys come because you're right there at Washington, D.C. anyway, right on 95.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be cool, man.
Well,
I'd love to do it.
Especially if there's some, everybody wants to win the first whatever or the big different thing,
We are Citrusafe, where good grilling is made better. We have prided ourselves in being the industry pioneer for safe grill cleaners. Our citrus-powered grill cleaner spray, nylon bristle brushes, and pads is all you need when it comes time to safely clean your grill. We strive to not only save you fuel, but also avoid the dangers associated with ingesting metal wire grill brushes. Citrusafe is available at all major retailers nationwide and online on Amazon.com. Citrusafe, the proud sponsor of the Orange Bumper Podcast.
Get a pretty cool trophy made. Smarty on steroids, kind of.
That could be fun,
pretty cool.
man.
Well, we talked a lot on here about different rivalries and stuff, and I think that a rival is somebody that's your equal. It's not some hey Joe that shows up and wants to make a name for himself doing stupid stuff with an accomplished driver. Burt and Tim, rivals, right? So do you all have, and a rival doesn't mean somebody you dislike. A rival just means somebody that you're always racing with, always racing against, and you always want to beat them. Like, other than each other, who are y'all's rivals?
I think I like to beat Carson Lofton, because he is one of our good friends. But I think obviously, not by choice, a little rival that I've had come up through the last couple of years is Jake Crum. He's a great guy, good person. Can't say I'm a huge fan of him inside of a race car, although we have cleaned up our act against each other recently. He does race me with more respect than I see him race with other people just because of our past. But that is something I can always feel myself tense up a little bit when me and Jake start racing around each other, because you never know with him, and sometimes you never know with me, like what showed up.
At least you're honest, dude. I mean, I'll give you that. You're honest.
So I'd say the only one I can say is Jake Crum would be my obvious choice. Built a pretty rich history pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. What about you?
Yeah, he touched on it. Lofton, he's one of my best friends, but we race each other super hard, and neither of us give an inch. We've gotten into it on the racetrack a little bit, and we've got out, laughed about it, whatever. Really want to beat him because he runs his mouth to me a lot, and I run my mouth back to him a lot. So bragging rights are big there. Me and Jake recently got into it, but I feel like we've always raced relatively well. We've never really had any big issues until Caraway, but I think that was kind of an unscrewed moment, if you know what I mean. Then I feel like with the Pro Late model stuff, Keelan Harvick and I have had a few really good races. We've gotten into it a little bit. Actually, I think his first ever oval legend car race, I wrecked him. Just poor kid. I cleaned him out. Like drove under him. It was at Florence. I drove it under him into 3, and I locked up the brakes. And yeah, I wasn't sure what I was doing out there at the time, and he was just trying to figure out the left turn stuff. And he'd only done some road course stuff. I cleaned him out. But that was whatever, and we've raced really hard on some late model stuff, and it's been a lot of fun racing against him. And we've had some really good races, and unfortunately, he's gotten the best of me more than I've gotten the best of him.
Keelan's not afraid.
He's impressive.
He's a real deal.
Just watching, I was behind him for a couple of Wilkesboro practices and just watching some of the stuff he does and the lines he's running. And then you're like, holy cow, that looks fast. And you go out there to try to follow him to see if you can do the same thing. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. Then you're racing with him, and you're like, you feel like you're running against somebody that, like, you feel like you're running against Kevin.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, holy cow. But then you remember he's 13 years old. It's like, man, this kid's waxing my ass right now. And
I'd like to see him in a modified.
He was supposed to this year.
King of the Modified, he was supposed to run.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I think.
Who is he going to run for?
He was going to run a PSR house car.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I think, I don't know what he was supposed to go test during the winter, I believe. I don't know if this is my business to tell, but I believe it was supposed to go test, and they were moving houses, and something didn't work out. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he got in one sooner than later. It'd be really cool. Like everything he gets in, he adapts well too. So I'd like to see how he does with the modified stuff. It'd be fun.
If I'm not mistaken, didn't Priest get Kevin in a modified somewhere?
Yeah, it was at Wilkesboro.
Was it
Wilkesboro?
Yeah, because Kevin talked about it on the. I heard Kevin talking about it on TV the other day.
Was it Wilkesboro or Martinsville?
Probably Wilkesboro.
I think it was Wilkesboro after they paved it.
Because I remember when he got out, he was just grinning ear to ear.
I feel like I remember that.
I think he did. I remember him talking about it. I thought it was this past weekend he was talking about it.
It would not surprise me if there's more Cup guys that get kind of do like what Newman does. You know, latter part of their career, they want to find something competitive. They want to find something fun.
But you'll never find anything more fun than driving a modified. I've told the story about Bobby.
Well, even when
I said, Bobby, you're messing up. What do you mean? I said, once you get in this, you're gonna forget about them taxi cabs.
Yeah, you're done.
It's and you saw what happened, and then look at Ryan, same thing.
Oh, Ryan's all over the place right now. He's running 6 races a week for like the last 10 weeks right now. It's pretty. Like,
he's all over the place. I remember when we first met Kyle down in Charlotte doing the no text and driving thing with the Highway Patrol, and we had your car out there, and it was all decked out with blue lights and the whole nine. And he comes walking over, and he's standing there looking at it and everything. And I said, Burt can probably make that happen if you want to get him one. He said, that right there, that's a real race car. He said, that's an Outlaws race car right there.
There's nothing like it.
Well, all of y'all have, I'm assuming, all raced Northern races, and obviously Smart. Northern races seem more physical, I guess, maybe. Like they're not afraid to door slam each other, move each other, all that stuff. Seems like in the South, and I don't really think you can include Bowman Grave because people get their damn feelings hurt if you get moved. But it seems like with Smart, I don't want to say there's a lot more respect, but it's just not as physical. Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of the Northern stuff is they have a lot more elbows up tracks than we do up there. A lot of high grip, tiny bull ring tracks like your Seaconks or White Mountain, Waterford. They're just not many places you can move around, so it's always such tight quarters, and they got to take every opportunity they can get. So they definitely are a little bit more aggressive than we are up there, but I think part of that plays into it. I think there's also a level of respect, kind of like the Smart Tour's kind of grown to have 8 to 10 of us who all race each other hard and don't have problems with racing each other hard and don't mind a little bit of nudging here, nudging there between that certain group of us, and nobody retaliates. They've had the same thing, but for a lot, Smart Tour's only really been back for a couple of years now, so we haven't had that long to do it like they have. They've been racing against each other for 10 to 15 years, so they have that respect for each other to be able to do that without retaliating.
I think the Tour runs on a little bit harder of a tire, and the pace is a lot faster too. So it's like the green flag drops, it's just qualifying laps. Like there's never
the tracks up there have a lot more grip than the southern tracks.
Yes, yeah, a lot of them do, and you're balls to the wall the whole race. So that with the smart stuff, a lot of us are riding, waiting for the tire stop or waiting for the stage break or whatever it is. So we're just we settle in, and then the tour, it's like, dude, we could go 200 laps green. Like you gotta go.
Yeah.
So I think that plays into it. Like he said, they've all been racing against each other, like the same 6 to 10 guys for so long, and they are so aware of where the line is and how not to cross it. And I ran pretty much the first half of the year last year, and that was something I had to learn, like where the line was, where to, send it or where to back
What's
off.
acceptable and what's not.
Yeah, right. And then, but I do feel like the Smart Tour stuff has like closed the gap a good bit. Like all of us are starting to get accustomed to each other. We're all getting our stuff dialed in where we're all really fast and close, and the pace is picking up now because you have to. Everybody goes. You can't just sit back. You lose so much track position. And it's getting super, super competitive now, and it's kind of bridging the gap to the tour where I feel like it's about as hard to run on the Smart Tour as it is on the Wheeling Tour now. Like I feel like with 3, 4, 5 years ago, like a Patrick Emmerling or a Bonsignor, they'd come down, like Bonsignor came to Wilkesboro and won, but a couple years ago, I feel like if he does that now, it's not as easy for him.
It's not
right?
surefire.
Yeah, right. They're still going to be guys to beat, like really good cars, but like you saw at the King of the Modified stuff, they weren't like Silk was probably the car to beat. Emmerling was one of the cars to beat until some tire stuff, but the gap is closer than ever, right? Like I feel like the Smart Tour this year is a lot harder than it has been. Because Danny Bone and the 25 team, they have their stuff dialed in.
Yes,
your stuff's
do.
been really good lately.
The 15.
The 15's on a rail. Jake's
Link's
got his stuff
Crum
good.
hooked up.
Brandon Ward's stuff's really good. It's really
It used to be 5 cars.
yeah.
And now it's 12 cars.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
And those 12 cars, especially during qualifying, are so close.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it used
Well,
to be.
the cars are, a lot of that's because the cars are a lot better.
A lot nicer.
Yeah.
Like, not nicer, like the testing
There's a
and
little bit more effort.
the stuff you're
These 12
right.
cars now are all better than those 5 cars were
Yes.
4 years
Yeah,
ago.
Yes.
By a
100%.
lot.
I agree
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
agree
know
with
there's been several races with us that we've been better, but we're still not where we were. But like at Hickory, for example, I feel like I was a couple hundredths away from being the car to beat, and I ran 4th.
Right.
Yeah.
And those couple hundreds is a difference between winning the race or not. Just like Jake at Franklin County. I think that's a prime example of he was the car that hit it that night.
Oh yeah.
And the rest of us were really
We were
close.
the same
Yeah.
speed.
Everybody
Yeah,
was,
like
but
second
he hit it
through
just right.
9.
And that little bit is what won the race.
Yep.
So,
I think the King of the Modified race, hats off to Chris. That race is so much fun
Yeah,
to
it
watch.
is.
I hope you guys have as much fun. I mean, there's a lot of damn cars out there, and
when you're in the seat, Franklin County's awesome.
right.
When you're out of the
I
car,
would imagine.
like,
When you're on the surface, it's great.
But I'm saying South Boston and the King of the Modifieds, like that is an awesome track to have that many cars.
Absolutely.
Now, nobody wants to wreck, but unfortunately, a lot of fans go there because they like that. But I mean, that place is fast. You got to have racecraft, and it's a big event, man. And you got the robe and the crown, the first one. Did they let you keep it, or did you have to turn it back in?
I still have the crown.
Yeah,
I
you don't
couldn't-
parade
I
around the
couldn't
house with
keep-
your robe.
I couldn't keep the robe. They only gave
they
me the crown.
didn't let you keep it.
No, they didn't let me keep the robe. It'd probably just be in my closet or something.
Right, I know,
The
right?
crown sits on my dresser with like my wristband from that day.
That's cool.
Throughout the crown.
That's cool.
That still sits there. But no robe. That was like you said, Chris and everybody at the Smart Tour in South Boston and Flow Racing and Pace-O-Matic have done a really good job with the King of the Modified stuff. It's been a really cool event. It's really probably top 5 biggest modified races of the year
I
now.
think so. Yeah.
I'd
And
say it's probably top 3 to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, it's
I'd
up there
say
with the
top 3. I
icebreaker,
think that's fair.
probably.
No,
No,
I'd take away any Thompson race now. They don't get enough cars anymore.
Yeah.
Well, right,
I'd
yeah.
say Martinsville and probably
Yeah, I
New
forgot about
Smyrna.
Martinsville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Sizzler. Yeah, there's a few good ones. But like so quickly the King of the Modifieds as
They came out of the gate
Yeah.
as a win. I mean, as a winner. I mean,
Yeah.
and plus you put up big money, you're going to get.
of course.
You're going to get the best of everything. And I always like watching the traditional Southern guys. I don't know. I guess y'all are hybrid. I don't know. Y'all traditional Southern.
I call it Southern.
Yes, okay.
I would say like when I go up north and race, I feel like
You're the Southern guy.
They
out
all
of place,
call him
you know?
the Southern guy.
Yeah.
Up there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's.
I agree to that.
With growing up with your dad, what's some of the? How does he coach y'all, or what's some of the best advice he's given you with your racing career?
Honestly, I was so checked out of racing when he was getting in. When I had just gotten into it when I was 16, I was also playing basketball and going to college at the same time. So I was never really indulged in it like Luke ended up being once he got into iRacing and all that and started loving it. And as soon as he was in it, he was always full bore. I was still on the outside kind of messing around, doing my own thing, enjoying college life. So I kind of got a late start. So when I come back from college and I kind of finally fell in love with racing and fully got into it myself, I had a lot of catching up to do, and I was kind of a lot of the outside because Luke had already gotten so good. He won a King of the Modifieds at 17 years old, and my dad was so focused on having him, make it because he's got the talent to do it. And I'm kind of a lot of it. I'm sitting on the outside and I'm playing a lot of catch up. So I kind of try to grab bits and pieces from my dad when I can and advice, but I'm also trying to learn things on my own because I feel like I'm at the age where I'm not relying on my dad anymore. So, I'll take his advice when I get it. Mainly, I've gotten more of it on the business side of things than the racing or working on the car side of things, like Luke has. So, just kind of taking those business tips, whether it be finding sponsorship or running social media.
That's a big part of it nowadays, man.
Yeah. So I feel like I got a good jump on that for my age from him. So that's probably the advice I look for from him versus anything else. I don't really work insanely well with him at the track. We're both emotional people and very
I don't
formative
know if
people.
disagreeing with that.
I think our biggest problem with working each other is our radios are terrible. That's probably you can't hear anything, and that's probably what ruins most of our days. So,
Well, I get it. What about you? What all have you kind of weaned from your dad?
I feel like just kind of spending so much time around him and meeting people through him and all the doors he's opened for me and kind of showed me instead of like it kind of happens naturally, right? Like you spend so much time with him at the race shop or at the racetrack, whatever it is, and you just kind of naturally see what he does and pick up on it. Whether it's, talking to people, how he talks to people, how he helps people, how he runs his business, this, that, the other. As far as driving a race car goes, he feel like he does a really good job at kind of almost pointing me in the right direction. Like, hey, you should probably talk to this guy or you should probably do this. But also kind of letting me learn on my own and I'll be like, hey, I was thinking about this and I feel like this worked more than that. And he's like, well, see, I knew you'd figure it out. And it's like, all right, well, why didn't you tell me before that? But
letting you figure it out, as a dad, that's what needs to happen.
I think it's a good thing, right? Like he's like a lot of people think, he's a fiery guy and he'd be pretty hard on me or controlling in a way. And I don't really say that's the case. Like he's super realistic with me, and like if I make a mistake, he'll make sure I know. But if I know, he's gonna back off and be like, okay, you understand. Don't let it happen again, and I move on. Or if I do something right, usually he's not gonna be like, wow, that was incredible, Luke. Or he's just gonna be like, good job.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Moving on. What about this thing that you did wrong in practice the other day?
Right.
But he has kind of like relatively hands off approach. I think that helps a lot.
Well, I would imagine it's hard, and you can speak to it. Do you want to be dad, or do you want to be coach, or do you want to, what do you do at the racetrack?
At the racetrack, I don't say much. I just kind of let Slate do his thing. If I get a question, then I'll give some advice. But my dad did the same thing with us. He would, and I hear it in you guys. He would help you, but he's not going to do it for you.
Yeah.
Because Ben talked about, we talked about the story that Ben told about this guy. In his mind, he wanted better for his kids than he had. And he said, I found out I was creating oxygen thieves. Right? He said, how am I, if I don't let you do it, if I do it for you so you have better than I had, and I try to do it for you, how are you learning how to do it without me?
Right.
And so I do the same thing with Slate. I'll help him, but I'm not going to do it for him. So, and like with sponsors and stuff, I say, Slate, are you going to plan on running this race? And he's like, yep. And I said, well, you got to get some sponsorship for this race. And we start getting close. And I said, Slate, have you thought about getting sponsorship? I got this and this. So he's doing it. Like he's making the calls and he's doing putting in the work.
Well, the business side of it is
it's majority of it.
Yeah,
it's the majority of it.
I wouldn't be racing at all this year if I never got with these guys. Literally 2 weeks before the season started, my dad only planned on running me 3 races, I think, in the Smart Tour, and I kind of got so lucky meeting everyone involved at Stoke, and now I'm looking at a racing type of world that I never even imagined was possible 2 weeks before Florence.
Well, I had never heard of Stoke shoes, and then when you started, with the partnership with them, I started looking into them, and when I'm at the races, because I'm on this side of the business side of it, I look around and I see those shoes, at races and stuff, and the drivers have to understand that it's a partnership. It's not a donation.
What did Kevin Powell
Kevin Powell said people come to him.
That's the best way I've heard it put.
And said they say they want a sponsorship, but what they really want is a donation.
Yeah.
Because what he'll say is, okay, well, if I cut you a check for X, tell me how you're going to give me a return on my investment. How many side-by-sides are you going to sell for me? And I think I follow your social media, and you do a really good job, promoting their brand and getting it out there. And I'm a prime example that, when it comes time for me to get, shoes again, I'm going to look at those shoes because if they invest in racing, I want to give them a try, give them a look. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised that there's not a Luke and Jack reality show or a podcast or a something, because
I'd like to work on something along those lines, and I always have. That's kind of been my bread and butter, has been social media and just trying to be performative and an entertainer. That's just kind of the person I am.
Well, you've got a huge stage.
I'd like to work on it, just trying to get other people on board and not turning my Xbox on is my other problem, because then I forget about it.
You have no idea how many ideas, like $1 million ideas. He's like, man, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do that. The next day, it's like he never even thought of it.
Well,
he struggles because he says all this, and we were like, all right, bro, whatever. And then nobody gets
when
on
people
board.
When people not take me serious, I'm like,
must not be that good.
Well, but
on to the next.
But it only takes one to make you.
I know.
Make you a millionaire.
Look at the guy that invented the hula hoop. I mean, look how special he is.
Well, the guy that made the Post-it note. We're not talking about high IQ here,
right?
I mean, my God. What do you guys have coming up for the rest of the year? Where can folks kind of reach out and find you guys racing?
I'm planning on finishing the whole Smart season as of right now. I'm also joined the Stoke Shoes LRT Motorsports guys for the rest of the Cars Tour.
Sweet.
We do get along those roads towards the end where 3 races conflict with each other. So we'll continue focusing on the Smart Tour as of right now, and hopefully things get better for us because we have the speed every week. We just need some of the luck
you
to
guys
go
are
our way.
fast, man.
Yeah, that new PSR car is really good. So,
and the car looks good too.
Thanks.
I like the way the car looks.
Thank you. Yeah. So we'll plan on focusing on that if things kind of keep unraveling. Unfortunate as it is, we are going to switch over and start focusing a little earlier on what we plan on focusing on full time next year with. So we'll just see how that goes. Obviously, we'd like to win a championship, and I think we have the speed to win a championship. So we're just going to keep trying to knock on the door, and hopefully somebody opens it.
But what a good problem to have different series you can run in.
No doubt.
Like having conflicting schedules. I mean, there's a lot of people that they just like an opportunity for one race. Yeah. And, you got an opportunity for different series. You got good equipment, all these things. So
extremely blessed. And
congratulations to you for that.
We're going to get after it this touring off season as well. I think me and Luke both will run some of the Crown Jewel modified races in North-South, Islip. And then hopefully we get the late model dialed in to where we'll go run some of those big shows down south in Mobile or Five Flags.
Right.
So looking forward to that as well.
No full-time Bowman Gray next year?
No, but I do want to. I want to run those season opener. I'm serious about that. I need to find a car. Unfortunately, you can't run the same one that you run the Smart Tour without changing a couple things, or else I'd already have done it a few times.
Right.
But I do want to find a car, and these guys want to get in front of 25,000 people on opening night with an atmosphere like that. So we're going to try to make it happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, maybe.
We talked.
I
And
did text Burt.
my thing is yes, I have a second car sitting there, but it's a situation where that's obviously at Bowman Gray things happen.
Yeah.
To where if I have to have that car, then I have to have it.
Well, I wasn't going to volunteer you. I was going to volunteer Phil.
No.
I was going to say, house car.
I think it kind of came together quick.
Yeah,
for
it
you.
was.
So
it was
now
really
that you've had a
fast.
year to work on it, I think you'll probably.
I think I'll be able to figure it out. I was with I got hooked up with that 71 group Linebeck.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good people.
Yeah, they are.
They gave me the opportunity and but it was a little bit more pricey for what my mind was thinking an appropriate price would be for a stadium race. So unfortunately, I had to pass on that. But they were really good people.
Yeah,
and
they are.
Talking to them was great,
They
and they're getting some success out there, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
obviously not a bad race car either.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You go over there for that first race, there's been a lot of people that have been like, I'm just going to run it one time.
Yeah, right.
I know, that's what I'm worried.
It's like the crackhead that hits the pipe the first
Yeah.
time.
Sucks you in, man.
I'm a huge sports guy, and I was always an athlete growing up, and I loved playing in front of crowds because like I said a couple minutes ago, I'm a performative guy.
Yeah.
It's awesome hitting a three, then turn around and doing something to the crowd, and they all get
Right. Get
fired
them
up.
pumped
And
up, yeah.
that's just that Bowman Gray reminds me of that atmosphere. So
Oh, it's.
I'm sure I'll get hooked, but I just need to do it once.
Have you been to the stadium for a race?
Not surprisingly, I haven't been there since my dad was helping Tim. I don't know how long ago was that.
That was like 5 years
That
ago.
was a long time ago.
You need to go.
I've been for the Clash. I'll say that.
Saturday night in the beer garden.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
Fully charged phone because the people watching, the atmosphere.
The people watching is probably one of the
Yes.
best parts.
Spectacular. Spectacular.
They're loyal, that's for sure.
Yeah,
They're
spectacular.
loyal.
Well, what do you have? What do you have coming up?
I'm gonna finish out the Smart Tour season. We're going to Loudon with the tour car, with our personal car. That'll be fun. Hopefully we can do some more races with the BLR guys, with the Pro Late Model stuff, maybe a little super stuff. It just depends what we can put together there. And then I think 4 more truck races with Team Ram.
Okay.
Finish that deal out and see if we can turn our year around, because, dude, it's been rough this year, pretty much.
You've had a rough year.
In all
I mean, you have.
aspects. Like the Smart Tour deal, our focus has shifted. It's not really the championship run's not in the cards. I don't think it's really even, we'd have to do something pretty crazy, and some people would have to have some bad fortune for that to happen. So just focus on winning races there and doing what we can for Hermie and Bill and everybody at Souther Stanley. But just kind of trophy hunting the rest of the year with the smart stuff, and then try to go win some pro races with the BLR guys. They've been incredible. Like I said, it's been a lot of fun to build the relationship with Dustin Bryson and everybody at BLR, Ernie and Donna. And hopefully we can work together some more, like you said, do some Crown Jewel late model stuff and some Crown Jewel modified stuff at the end of the year. And then keep learning with the truck stuff and keep trying to find my way out there, and hopefully put some good runs together for them.
I saw Mohawk was on your truck. What does Mohawk do?
So Mohawk is a mass construction company up in the Northeast. So they build anywhere from bridges to submarines and everything in between. They do roads, bridges, built like big skyscrapers, buildings, submarines, and just huge construction projects, a lot of government projects and stuff like that. And Al Hankey at Mohawk he does it because he loves it, right?
Yeah.
Like he just loves racing. He owns Weed Sport Speedway up in New York.
Nicest racetrack in the world.
Yeah.
Really?
Beautiful
Oh my God.
facility.
It's insane.
He owns some dirt modified stuff, does some stuff with Halmar Friesen, and just great guy. Like, just does so much for the racing community, more than anybody could even imagine. So just super blessed to be able to inherit that relationship that, my dad and Al worked together for years. Al's dirt team is called Hanky Baldwin Racing because my dad was a co-owner. He's not anymore, but he still calls it that. And it's been so incredible to have him on really both of our sides. He's done so much for our family. So, just enjoying that relationship, and he's taken me places that, childhood me would never imagine. So
gentlemen like that are a lot of what makes racing
the backbone.
Yeah, great. And for Southeast short track stuff, that's what, Tommy and David and Bryson Industries and Citrusafe and, they just like being involved. They like growing the sport. Very lucky to get hooked up with Burt early on. That's been a great partnership, and it's hard to find good partners that stay around. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing the Mohawk stuff on. I think he was a priest. He did a lot of stuff with priest for a while, and I knew it was something that wasn't like something you could go out and buy.
Yeah.
But sounds like he's got a lot of heavy equipment that might need to be cleaned. I just Citrusafe
might
throwing that out.
Might have to tear that up.
I just throwing that out there, but So what do you got coming up? We got stadium this week?
The stadium. I got ACE Friday night.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'll be in the PSR number 17.
All the air just left out of the lungs of the
guys in the I'll be driving that again. I think there's twin 20s, twin 25s, whatever it is again this weekend. So I've always loved ACE Speedway, and obviously we had a lot of success when we went last
Another great racetrack.
Yeah.
I love that.
I wish Tor still ran there.
Yeah, I know.
I think you probably had some of your best on some of your worst days there.
Yeah, about died there.
Died
there, that's for sure. But I've had a lot of wins at ACE. I love ACE Speedway. So going down there with the 602 is always fun. And Phil and Jen and Andy and the whole crowd.
Is Slate running anything there?
I think he was talking to Boo Boo yesterday about they had some misfortune at Caraway. So I think they were going to do another one at ACE. Okay. So it may be this weekend.
Okay, cool.
I don't know for sure. I know he was talking to Boo Boo yesterday about trying to do something else. So I know they were talking about going to ACE. I don't know if it'll be this weekend or not.
And then 100-lap race Saturday night?
Nope. Twin 25s again. It's a 100-lap sportsman race.
Oh, okay.
100-lap sportsman race. Okay. That's been rained out twice, I think. So
there's a high likelihood it gets rained out again.
That's a good – the 100-lap sportsman race is usually a really good race. So.
I might come out.
Yeah.
I haven't been to Bowman Gray this year. I'd have a weekend off.
Yeah, come on out,
I wonder if Chase will run that 100-lap race.
Probably.
I would think so.
Him and Adams usually come back and run the 100-lappers. So
yeah, I've missed seeing him race at the stadium.
Yeah,
I really have. But good for him for kind of branching out and doing some stuff.
He's doing it.
He's been running really well with the modified stuff. His stuff's been fast. Yeah. It's a small group over there, and he's
a good kid. That's a good family.
Really well. Yeah,
he's a good friend of ours.
I want nothing more than to see him succeed
for sure.
He can do it too.
Yeah, he's smart. He's a smart racer.
Very.
Well, there's a group of y'all that are kind of what I consider the next generation, and I pull for you guys. I mean, you two, Slate, Chase, Riley Neal. What's the kid from up in, what do they call his dad? Pumpkinhead or something like that?
Hartwig.
Oh that's what I've always heard him called.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
not wrong.
They call him that up.
Do they?
I wouldn't be an Pumpkinhead. Yeah.
He ran third at the last tour race. Yeah, I saw that.
Love laps too.
Yeah.
All these young guys coming up. Though y'all are the kind of guys I want to see at the top levels, because I don't like, and this is just me, but I don't like the cookie cutters. Like I like good interview. Like you're a good interview. Like I love when you're pissed off and they throw a microphone right in your face. Like I love it. But that's from a fan's point of view. That's what I want to see. Like I don't want to see. Well, I need to look at the replay before I decide if I'm pissed off or if I was at fault and still not going to take responsibility for it. Like I like the way you guys are coming up and you're getting in different things. And
you usually say that. I'll say this from experience. When you say I need to look at the replay, it's because you're not sure if you effed up or
Right.
not.
Yeah. Right.
Half the time,
But when you know it wasn't your fault, you're like, dude, I got wrecked. But when you say, well, I need to look at the replay, then you're questioning, maybe
Right.
I did
I think I might have took a bite of the sandwich on that one.
half the time when I'm getting out of a car and I had some contact and somebody puts a mic in front of my face, I don't even know who it was. I just say it was Crumb.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, just like me and Jake, and it's funny because what happened at Wake County was, and I got out and told it just like it was because I knew exactly what happened.
Yeah.
And then he knew exactly what happened. And then it's funny because I'm in the driver's meeting at Caraway. He was crouched down there in the floor, and I punched him. And I hadn't spoke to Jake at all since Wake County. And I kind of punched him and like, yeah. I said, I still don't like you, but you're in a hell of a race at Franklin County. He just smiled. But if I know I'm right, then I'll let him have it. But if I'm not quite sure, I'm like, well, I think this is what happened, but let me make
I'll
sure.
have to go back and watch.
So when you hear guys say, I got to look at the replay first, it's because they're not sure if they screwed up or not.
Right. Yeah. They need to know which side of the fence to get on.
But you're right, though. Like, that's what we've talked about this 100 times. What Cup and racing on Sundays turned into is so much of a business and doing the right things and saying the right things. And they get up and they run fifth and they make sure their drinks turn the right way. And they say, it was a great day for our sponsors. And
As they take a sip out of their empty can.
And it's turned into that but you have to think, you got such a grind for 36 weeks over and over and over and over. It's turned into, it's maybe not as passionate and you don't have that excitement that you used to have because it's a job.
I just miss the Tony Stewart type interviews. Like you never
Well,
had...
just like we talked about with Kyle. And Kyle, I've heard people, trash Kyle about an interview. He ran third and he sounds like a prick because he's pissed off because he ran third.
Yeah, well, as a car owner, that's
We need
who
more
I
of
want
that.
in my car.
Right. Need more of that. I don't want a guy that says, well, we had a great day. We finished third, man. Our sponsors are happy. Yeah, that's great. But,
all the new guys in the Cup Series, they have that interview personality, and you still got the old ones like Hamlin. You'll still see him with personality in interviews, or Bubba's, whether you like it or not, he's got personality in interviews. But then you got all the new guys that came in, Connor Zilich, him and his buddy Jesse Love, they got good personality interviews. Hocevar, he's great at interacting with the fans, and even Unk SVG, he's still got great personality for racing, and he doesn't shy away from doing it on camera. Like you saw a great interview, or not interview, spotter audio when he took the lead at Wilkesboro.
Yeah, right.
What do I do now?
What do I do now?
What do I do now?
But we talked about it earlier. There's a change. You can see a change.
It's starting to get back that way. That's what I'm saying.
Well, when Denowitz was here, this was one of the things that I remember from when he was on the show, and it surprised me that he said this because I had a notion that the upper NASCAR people were stuffy and they didn't get it and they weren't connected. But he sat right there in that seat and he said, "No, we've got to loosen the reins. Like we've got to have personality back. We've got to have individuals." And it surprised me to hear him say that in a public forum. But I was glad to hear it. And I think that the entertainment value's got to be there. The racing is everybody's so close right now that there's not, you have a bad qualifying, lap, but then
I don't want it to sound bad, but you can't just count on the racing anymore.
no, you can't. No. And that's what I was getting to. That's what I was getting to.
I don't mean that in a negative way, but you can't just count on the race to be a good race.
Well, that's why I like the in-car interviews that Dillner does with Smart, and some guys are, like you're pretty good for a laid back interview, like Burt's, pretty laid back. You seem like you're always business.
I'm always
you're business.
I'm always yelling at the race director without actually yelling at him. So I'm always saying something that he's doing, but without mentioning his name.
Somebody's got to be the voice. But
I try to drop a joke in there every time.
Yeah.
Being too uptight in the race car, it's
no fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Racing's only supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
It's all it's good for. You ain't making money, that's for sure.
Right. Tell me about
So
it.
you're good for having fun, and so if you're not having fun, then why even do it?
Yeah. Well, I know that you guys, y'all work, you got responsibilities, race cars and all that stuff to work on. You got race cars to work on. Man, I appreciate y'all taking time out of your day.
We finally got him on here, man.
I know. I mean,
tried him for a while.
Yeah, we had to work hard for it.
He tries to blame it on me, but
Old man's got a job.
There's one
man.
time where we had it set up to where I could go, and he bailed.
Where was I?
I don't remember.
And then he ghosted me for like 2 days after you
I
said,
think you have to go go text
I
or something.
have a problem where I'll get a text and I'll read it. I'll be like, all right, yeah, I'll get
I
to
do
that in a
the
second.
same
But then they pile up
2
on
days
top
later,
of
I'm
it.
like,
yeah.
oh,
So you know what I've
gosh.
done? Here's because I did the same thing. I'll make it unread so that
Yeah,
the little
I did the
red
same thing.
things on there. But
Yep.
I said that to Slate. But then, like mine right now, I've got one on there. I've got one unread message.
See
and
it.
that way I know. Slate has got like 80 unread messages on there.
That's how I am too.
I have 775.
See? So that my trick wouldn't work for you then.
No.
No, the number changing.
You need two phones. You need one for like your inner circle.
I need like an
And then the other
automated
one.
response. Like, hey, like if someone sends me a text, I need it to automatically go. If I don't answer in an hour, text me again.
Text me again.
Text me again. Like, yo, wake
Well,
up.
when he asked
Right.
me, and I said, well, one of them is, one of them's not. One of them hadn't responded yet. So that's when I sent another one, and then, I'm just glad we got y'all on here because I wanted to. One of you would have been great, but I wanted both of you because I the whole racing against your brother thing, and then your grandpa raced, and then your dad's involved in racing, and the whole family thing. So it was cool to have.
It's kind of y'all's
Yeah.
families mirror each other a
It's
lot.
kind of, and especially being in the modified world.
Yeah.
They know, we can talk about how awesome modifieds are, but if you've never experienced modifieds, you don't get it. So you guys get it.
Yeah.
You guys get it. So
And
pretty
you
cool.
weren't shy to say, modified's where it's at.
Oh, dude,
there's nothing like it.
There's nothing
There's
better.
nothing like
Yeah.
it, man.
And everybody that's raced them that's come through
You
here.
you could win the Daytona 500 today, and it would be one of the greatest experiences of your life. But as far as actually driving the car, nothing touches a modified.
Ryan Newman
Now I
preaches
will
that. I
say,
mean,
and I've only had 5 laps experience at it, but a super modified that could be, that could maybe be the only thing that would top a modified.
I want to try one of those so bad, but
Can't.
I would cost somebody a lot of money.
have
and
you
I'd
seen the
get
video of
myself
him?
hurt, I think.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video
No.
of him?
I can't. I'd say it's probably cooler, but I can't justify it because the racing's so boring.
Well, that's what almost
what
almost killed him was a super modified.
So I don't know if y'all heard the story or not.
Mm-mm.
So we were at Concord. Our pole was a 15-1
Tour mods.
tour mods.
Okay.
Our pole was like a 15-1. They were running 1290s.
That's insane,
Right?
man.
And I said, man, I got to drive one of these cars. So a little time goes by, and the guy who was over that series had back surgery and wasn't going to be able to. He thought he was going to be ready in time, but he wasn't. So super modifieds were coming to ACE Speedway. Well, I love ACE Speedway. I've got a lot of success at ACE Speedway. Super modifieds are coming to ACE Speedway. And I talked, the guy had called Chad Kepley. Kepley called me, said, I know Burt had expressed some interest in driving the super. The guy said, yep, let's line it up. So then we go to one of the races in Wilkesboro. It was like just an off show for the modifieds. Well, the guy was going to bring the super modified up there to put it on display to promote the race at ACE. So I go up there, I climb in it. It's awesome. And Kim's looking at me like, I don't know about this. So it's so funny because we had lined it up. I was going to run this race at ACE. A friend of the family, an older friend of the family said, I heard you're driving a super modified. I said, yeah, man, can't wait. He said, you sure about that? Man, what do you mean am I sure about that? Of course I want to drive a super modified. So a little time goes by, another older friend of the family, not related, not even, I heard you're going to drive a super modified. I said, hell yeah, I'm going to drive a super modified. Man, I can't wait. He said, man, are you sure that's a good idea? What do you mean? Well, of course it's a good idea. It's a
Law
super
enforcement,
modified.
we call these clues.
Yeah.
So my wife says, Bert, I don't know, man. Them things are awful fast. I said, Kim, that's what I live for. This is going to be, if we run 15-1s at Concord and they run 1290s, this is going to be, you're going to get movement in your pants just when it fires up, right? So it was on. The reason I know this is because my wife's birthday is April 17th. This was a Friday night, April 15th. And we were supposed to be racing at South Boston for the old Southern Wheel Modified Tour the next day. Mm-hmm. That car was already ready to go and everything. So I show up at ACE Speedway and I get in the car try my Hans on, my helmet, everything fits good. It's about 10 minutes till practice is getting ready to start. I said, well, let me go to the bathroom real quick. So I go in there and I go take a leak. As I'm coming back out, I'm in there by myself and I stop. And I don't know why I stopped. And I said, Lord, please don't let me get hurt in this car. I don't know why that came over me, right?
Clues.
Yeah. So I come out, I get in the car, and fourth or fifth lap going into one of the throttle sticks.
Oh,
Tear the whole guardrails. I mean, right? Well, I'd already been told that whatever fuel they run, it burns. It's clear. You can't see the fire, right? So
Ethanol, right?
I crashed, and I feel heat. So I get out real quick, and I look, and there's an orange fire under the car. It was an oil line. So it was orange fire. Mm-hmm. Well, where I hit, going into ACE, the pylon thing with the scoreboard, I hit right past that. Mm-hmm. I cleaned out the guardrails or the signs and the fence and everything. And I remember looking back and I saw wiffle balls. What is, I just remembered that later. Well, they run, instead of foam, they ran wiffle balls in their fuel cell. The fuel cell exploded.
Holy.
But luckily it all went behind me as I kept going.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I get out of the car, adrenaline's flowing and everything. I get out of the car and I come and I jump the guardrail. And everybody's over there and everything. I didn't realize till later when I got out, there's no wing, no nothing. So I just got right out because you got to climb in. So I get out and I go in and I sit down in this guy's trailer. And I realize something's not right. And I kind of was like, let me lay down. So I lay down. I was like, I can't lay down. So I sit back up and the adrenaline's coming down. I'm realizing something ain't right. And this older guy that runs one of those cars, he come by, he says, boy, go to the hospital. Well, you guys can relate to this. I'm thinking, if I go to the hospital, they're not going to let me run South Boston tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like, I got to be cool about this. Can't go to the hospital. He said, man, just go let them check you out. I said, no, I'm all right. So by the time we get outside of the trailer, because they were parked outside, by the time they get outside of the trailer, I'm realizing I'm hurt. So I'm still thinking in my mind, all right, here's what I'll do. I'll go to the hospital, patch me up. I'm going to race tomorrow.
Yeah.
So by the time I get up there and the adrenaline's coming back down, they had to help me get out of my suit. They got my pair of blue jeans on me, and that was about it. By now, the ambulance is on the way. I said, well, let me call my wife. Don't call. Let me call her. Mm-hmm. I said, Kim, hey, don't freak out, but throttle stuck, crashed. I'm going to the hospital. She said, stop messing with me. I said, Kim, I'm serious. Like, I'm okay. But they're going to take me to the hospital. Where are you going? All right. So we get to the hospital. I'm still thinking I'm still racing tomorrow.
Yeah,
right. So by the time I got to the hospital, I realized Chad Little, the phone call had already made it to the hospital. Chad Little was checking my status.
Yeah.
So I get in there and they got the neck thing on me, which that wasn't hurt. It was my side. So they x-rayed me and I had 3 broke ribs.
Yeah.
And he didn't call them cracked. They were broke, like separated. Well, they did another thing and I had a punctured lung. So they had to do the chest tube and the whole 9 yards. Well, I'm still thinking, I said, Doc, when can I get out of here? He said, what are you talking about? I said, I got to race tomorrow. He goes, what? I said, I've got to race tomorrow. And I was like third in the points. And he goes, you can go race tomorrow, but not because I say you can. He said, you don't understand. You bump up, your lung collapses, you die. He says, you cannot race tomorrow. They were calling for rain. So now, yes, they postponed it from Saturday to Sunday. So I'm like, I'm back in the game. So I said, Doc, they've moved it to Sunday. He said, you're not listening to me. You have 3 broken ribs. They've separated. If you crash and that rib turns sideways, you don't understand what I'm trying to tell you here. So now I'm kind of setting into reality. I call Lee Jeffries, and Lee Jeffries is going to drive my car. So Saturday night comes. They're going to race on Sunday. And I said, Doc, when can I get out of here? He said, well, we're still keeping you for evaluation. So just, y'all probably do the same thing. Everything to me is racing terms. So your lungs are an inner tube. Your chest cavity is the tire. Mm-hmm. So I've got an air pocket between the inner tube and the tire. Once that air pocket gets bigger, you ever put air in a tire with an air tank and then you got more air in the tire than you do the tank and it quits pumping?
Yeah.
All right, well, same way. If that air pocket gets too big and it gets bigger than the air in your lung collapses. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what he's telling me. So I've got this tube and the whole 9 yards and so he said, I tell you what, dude, in the morning, we're going to x-ray you. If the air pocket hadn't got any bigger, I'll let you go. He said, you sure you want to go? I said, have you ever, look, what if I told you I was going to dance with your wife? Wouldn't you want to at least watch? And he goes, well, yeah, I guess I see what you're saying. I said, there's a guy going to drive my race car. I'm going to watch my race. Can I at least go watch my race car race? So in the morning, I get up. Air pocket hadn't got any bigger. They unhooked me from the machine. Excuse me. They duct tape. They taped this little clear bottle looking thing to my side with some like cotton in it. And I've still got my chest tube in. So I go sit in the booth and watch the race. Come to find out, on that Friday, my wife's birthday, they had a thing for her at work for her birthday. She said, Burt, I want to tell you something. She said, do you know what my wish was when I blew those candles out? I said, what? She said, I wished you wouldn't get hurt in that car. So now she tells me I'm not allowed back in a super modified. I go, yes, ma'am. So back to that story. The only thing I think that might give you that feeling more than a tour mod might be a super.
Yeah, maybe I don't want to run a super either.
Yeah, I don't know if I've swayed you or not, but well, I'll tell you this. So it had a LaJoy seat in the car. Well, Randy called me and he said, I told that guy the roll cage in them things comes right down past you. Mm-hmm. And Randy said that they had to cut the rib supports off that seat to make it fit in the car. And he told the guy, if you crash, you're going to break your ribs. I said, well, you were right, Randy.
I crashed. I broke my ribs.
I broke my ribs. But I didn't realize those things operate off a throttle cable. There's no linkage. It's cable. And the cable, I guess, like a go-kart or a motorcycle or something. So, but yeah, but it was cool because their pole, I was like 50%. I was just kind of getting used to it.
Yep.
And, at ACE, you got to back your corner up to get to the bottom and all that stuff. Well, most guys that show up to ACE that don't know any better, they overdrive turn one. So all these guys were just, wow. Well, I'm backing out and getting to the bottom. I was only like 3/10 off what their pole was. And I'd only run 4 laps. So, I mean, I was really felt like I was going to be really good. But I about died.
The worst part of all that.
Man, them boys got away with one that day.
You're lucky I about died because I was going to kick your ass.
I always had, when I would go to the hospital for drunks and stuff, I get to make friends with all the nurses and doctors and everything. I told them, I said, if I ever come in here and I need a chest tube or a catheter, I'm telling you right now, knock me out. I've seen both of them done.
Here's what happened to me.
And I do not want to be awake if that happens.
It must have been more severe than I thought. They did the x-ray, and he told the nurse, he said, they call it something. They don't call it a chest tube, whatever the term they called it. We need such and such. Within 30 seconds, 2 nurses came in with a tray, and the doctor's putting his gloves on. And he said, put your arm up. And I did this. And like 8 seconds went by from when he numbed it and made an incision. He literally stood back like this, and he went, and you felt it go through your muscle and all that. And I screamed, God almighty.
Yeah.
And what got me is my shoulder was killing me, and I didn't think I hurt my shoulder. But all in here was just like really, really sore the whole weekend. And then I think it was about Monday or Tuesday, I went back to the doctor, and when they pulled that chest tube out, it was like cutting a light switch off. All the pain went away. I guess they say like having a foreign object in your body. It was on a nerve or something.
The body doesn't like it.
But yeah, that was
Well, that's a good topic to end the show on, is about them getting killed.
Well, we'll flip it around. So I was supposed to run the Denny Hamlin Memorial or Denny Hamlin Showdown race at Richmond in a late model. And I was driving one of Dylan's late models. And I ran 8th that day. That was 12 days later, because I had Austin was there, and they pushed the right side rib support out and like put foam on it, so it wouldn't hold me here. It's kind of hold me here. And I ran 8th, and then the very next weekend was the opener for Bowman Gray, and I won the 200 lapper that. Well, there you go. There's your. All right, now we end on that, right?
Yeah. Fantastic. Yeah, that works. Yeah, well, if you got your chest tube, now you know there's greener pastures coming. Yeah. So,
that'd be nice. Green pastures part.
Yeah,
we need that.
Yeah, we could use a little bit of that.
We didn't almost die, but
hopefully we're going to keep getting some rain. I don't want the track to get rained out, but
yeah.
At any rate, like I said, and this is what always happens. I try and wind this down,
and then I keep going. I'm
and then he picks it right back up and off we go.
I'm sorry, man.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't want Jack to get fired, and
My dad's the boss.
His dad's the
all
boss.
right, well that's good. Well, but no, again, we appreciate you guys coming, taking time out of your day. I know both of you are busy, and Burt putting together race-winning cars right now, so we want to get you back to the shop. But as always, we want to thank Citrusafe. We're still right in the middle of grill season. Good time to get out, get your grill cleaners. Also, kind of heard us talk about at the beginning of the show, thanks to my wonderful plug over here from Luke, this Citrusafe Pro. You can find that at brysonshop.com. Everything from heavy machinery to race cars, dirt cars, go-karts, powder coaters, absolutely love it. Anything you got to get clean, degreased, or oil emulsification done, we've got an absolute banger concrete and asphalt cleaner that we're using over at Bowman Gray right now, where there's a bunch of oil all over the track from the Demolition Derby. We'll probably post some pictures of that a little bit later, but keep us in mind. Great products, great people, and they're all about supporting the racers. So like we all do, spend your money with the people that appreciate racing and continue to help these guys out here get in the car and provide us entertainment. But guys, we appreciate it. Burt, I'll see you maybe Saturday night. I don't know. Depending on the weather.
You know where I'll be.
I know where you'll be.
So if you don't see me, it's your
that's
fault.
my fault. Yeah, I know. But no, again, as always, we appreciate you watching, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Thank you.